Under the wide expanse of desert skies where golden dunes kiss the horizon and winds carry secrets from the ancient sands, the roar of an engine rises like a falcon's cry, and in that sound the poetry of Fazza is born, a poetry not written on paper but carved in the air with the speed of wheels, with the rhythm of pistons, with the glow of headlights burning against the night. Cars are not only machines to him, they are companions of the soul, vessels of freedom, shadows of dreams that glide across highways and whisper to the silence of dawn. Every journey is a stanza, every mile a verse, every gear shift a heartbeat that merges man and machine into one song of motion, and the world listens as the roads themselves turn into pages of an eternal book. The city of Dubai, tall with glass towers reflecting the moon, hears the hymns of engines echoing through its streets, and Fazza, with his heart open to the music of speed, lets his thoughts unravel in the language of cars. The Bugatti becomes his thunder, the Ferrari his flame, the Lamborghini his untamed fire, the Rolls-Royce his gentle whisper, and in each one, he discovers a different truth. The poetry of cars is not about power alone but about presence, about the feeling that time bends when you sit behind the wheel, about how a single ride through the desert roads can turn silence into a symphony, loneliness into company, and dreams into something you can touch. He knows that a car carries more than its driver. It carries stories. It carries laughter and echoes of voices that once filled its cabin. It carries the memory of journeys that shaped a life. The seat remembers the weight of tired travelers. The wheel remembers the touch of hands searching for direction. The windshield remembers the tears of rain that once blurred the view, and the tires remember the roads that stretched without end. Fazza sees these memories as verses, as lines of poetry unspoken yet eternal, woven into the fabric of every machine. On Sheikh Zayed Road, the traffic becomes a rhythm, a symphony of horns, lights, and motion. Yet for him, even this chaos is music. He drives not to conquer but to listen, not to boast but to feel. The city lights flash like constellations caught between skyscrapers, and each reflection on the hood of his car is a metaphor, a reminder that even in steel and glass, there lives a soul that can mirror the stars. When the desert calls, he leaves the city behind, and out there, under the unbroken sky, the poetry becomes louder. The sand listens, the falcons circle above, the sun bows to the horizon, and the car becomes a trusted steed galloping across infinity. There are nights when the cars rest quietly in the palace garages, lined like soldiers of elegance, and even in their stillness they speak. The silence of a parked car is its own kind of verse, for it holds within it the potential of journeys yet to come, of roads waiting to be touched, of winds yet to be tasted. Fazza walks past them. In the stillness of dawn when the first light spills across the golden horizon, the roads of Dubai awaken like shining ribbons stretching endlessly across the desert sands. The air hums with the promise of speed, with the whispers of engines yet to roar, and in that sacred silence rests the heart of Fazza, whose soul has always known the rhythm of movement, the music of tires against the asphalt, and the poetry that only a car can carry into the wide embrace of the horizon. His voice is not bound to ink or parchment but to the growl of horsepower, to the gleam of chrome under the sun, to the breath of machines that echo the pulse of a rider's heart. Cars to him are not mere machines. They are the desert stallions of steel, spirits of fire and wind shaped by human hands, and he rides them with the same grace that he carries falcons on his arm or reins horses in a gallop beneath the stars. The poetry of cars is the poetry of freedom, of chasing dreams that dart like mirages across desert heat, of writing stories on highways that never end. To Fazza, every turn of the wheel is a stanza, every mile is a verse, and every roar of the engine is a chorus that rises louder than the city's heartbeat. The night knows his journey, when the lights of towers blur into rivers of gold as he drifts through streets that remember his name, and the day bows before his pace, when the sun itself seems to race him, chasing his shadow across the dunes. A car is no longer a vessel but a companion, a confidant that knows his silence and his laughter, his solitude and his pride. It is in the driver's seat that Fazza finds himself closest to the song of freedom, and there, he writes with speed what ink could never capture. There are nights when the city is asleep, and only the hum of tires sings against the stillness. In those hours, the world feels weightless, and the car becomes a comet, carving light into the fabric of night. The street lamps blur into a necklace of fire, and his reflection in the rearview is not that of a prince but of a wanderer, a traveler unchained. The car's leather seat holds his dreams, and the steering wheel is his pen, with which he inscribes untold verses upon the black manuscript of roads. Speed is not recklessness to him but poetry in motion, a prayer whispered at 100 miles per hour, a hymn that only he and the car understand. The desert is his oldest friend, and cars are its modern stallions. Yet the spirit of both blends into one. To race across the empty sands with the engine howling is to honor the ancient gallop of Arabian horses, to fuse the tradition of the past with the fire of the present. He rides in a Ferrari, and it feels like the desert wind has been caged inside, waiting to be released with a single press of the pedal. He drives a Lamborghini, and it feels like a falcon swooping from the heavens, precise, swift, fearless. Each car has its own soul, its own poetry, and he learns the language of each,